Alright, hello, and welcome back to Dragon Quest VII. Last time, as you can tell by looking, we helped Patrick's father recover, and now he's joined us for another dungeon visit, so to speak. Alright. Now comes a point in the game where I would have kind of liked to have the next spell in line for Maribel to learn whenever she does. Yeah. Yeah, would have been useful here coming up, but oh well. Just have to make do without it. Unless by some chance we get it, after that. Unless by some small chance she levels up with this battle's experience learned. Not very likely, but... Oh yes, Kiefer will be the first one to level up. Maribel afterwards. Anyways, yeah, there's this tower over here. Went over here once to get that treasure chest, contents of that treasure chest, but completely ignored this large tower off to the side, because up until now there would have been nothing you could do here anyways. So. Wait a minute, listen. Oh yeah, it's up this way. I don't know if you actually have to do this or this is an optional boss, but up here. Oh goody. Dragon Quest, well actually this enemy's been in most of the Dragon Quest games since then, but since part 1, Gollum. Not the thing in Lord of the Rings either, but yeah, Gollum with an E. Golem. The one that you had to either be extremely highly leveled up, like I usually am when I play the first Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior game, and kick the living crap out of them like any other random battle enemy, or use that fairy flute to put to sleep. Yeah, that enemy that was guarding Cantillon in the first game. Granted, that enemy has been in pretty much every Dragon Quest game since then, but he's one of the few enemies that have been in all of them since, including the first game. I mean, some enemies like the Headhunter that wave those axes, they didn't appear until part 2. Anyways, but yeah, for this battle, the next spell that Maribel will learn would have been helpful. So I was kind of hoping to get that in the off-screen grinding before the last video, but oh well. It's a spell normally when I play this game, I already have that spell for Maribel, a rather explosive one, if I might add. Yeah, of course. Bang! The first of that series of spells. Bang, boom, kaboom. I usually have that for Maribel, which definitely helps with this battle, but oh well. Guess she ain't gonna learn that until level 9. At this point, I'm tired of level grinding. Which again, for those who have seen my RPG video game playthroughs, that's saying a lot. I mean, how much grinding usually I do it off screen between videos like this series just now here too, but usually over leveled due to a lot of massive grinding. So when I emphasis on that, say I'm tired of grinding, that's saying a lot. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind grinding. Like I said before, if I did, I would have never got into RPGs in the first place. Final Fantasy, first Dragon Warrior, second Dragon Warrior, first Final Fantasy, second Final Fantasy. Well, of course, we thought it was the second Final Fantasy game, but it ended actually was Final Fantasy 4. But yeah, of course, that's a whole other story for another time. The most longtime Final Fantasy fans already know all too well as it is how 2 was 4 and 3 was 6, or vice versa. Yeah. To avoid confusion, way to go, SquareSoft. More like create confusion to this day, 30 plus years later. Anyways, a green fragment. All right, how are we doing then? I'm not gonna worry about that yet. Let's go in. Ah. All right. Like the mini map there in the bottom of the screen, or the touch screen if you're actually playing it on a 3DS. If I recall correctly, you didn't have that in the PS1 original. Granted, I only played the PS1 version once, and even then, that was like, what, 6 years ago now? Just that within the first half year after this came out, just out of curiosity to see how different the original was. Didn't like it. Didn't make it very far. Not even a quarter of the way through the game before I gave up on it and went back to this one. So my memory of the PS1 original isn't as clear as it should be, but to the best of my knowledge, you didn't have in-game maps like most early RPGs. You had to draw your own. Yeah. Or get the strategy guide. Well, strategy guide in the early 90s since the internet wasn't there yet. Oh, another red fragment. Actually, no, never mind. When I say another, that's kind of a misuse of the word another. The last one you got was a blue or a green one. Of course, these fragments, like I said in the first or second video, you do yourself a world of good, so to speak. Of course, that's probably the lamest way of putting that possible, but definitely help yourself out by getting those fragments whenever you see one. Because if you see one and don't bother to pick it up, you will, emphasis on that 4-letter word, will eventually have to come back and get it. So yeah, whenever you see a fragment, just pick it up and save yourself a little unnecessary backtracking otherwise. Bronze knife. Can anybody use that? Okay, who has... No, not attributes. Items. Can anybody use that, and is it better than what they already have? Let's see. Oh, you can't see from here. Oh, that's... Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. Oh, Maribel can use that. Okay. Oh, there you go. She needs a weapon upgrade. The main character and Kiefer both are pretty well equipped for now. But yeah, as I was saying though, I like that mini map, especially due to the fact that it'll show any fragments laying around like the last one. So you can see ahead of time that there's something there to be picked up. Since the fragments, spoiler alert, will be an oft-repeated key item throughout like the first half to 3/4 of this game. I mean, it's even in the subtitle, Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. course, like most American releases at the time, our version on either the NES or in this game's case, the PS1, didn't have the subtitle. It was just Dragon Warrior and then the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 7. No subtitles, no. Dragon Quest 3, Lumen, or no, that was part 2. Yeah. Didn't have the subtitle, it was just Dragon Warrior 3. Whatever, I don't even remember what it was, but I think Luminaries was part 2. Chapters of the Chosen, part 4. We didn't get our copy didn't say anything about Chapters of the Chosen. It was just Dragon Warrior 4. That's it. That's all. Yeah. Anyways. Of course, a lot of those Dragon Warrior games, like the first one, somebody, I think it was T Cobalt 43, the one I mentioned a lot on these playthroughs, talked about the box art. And yeah, the box art for the first Dragon Warrior game here in North America was kind of lame. But then again, you look at a lot of those old NES and Super NES games, the Americanized box art. It's like, what the hell were they thinking? Like Metal Gear. Why is there a picture of Kyle Reese from Terminator on a Metal Gear game box art? Metal Gear, Solid Snake would be more like frickin' Rambo than the Terminator. One-man infiltration army mission, aka Rambo. Not Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. So why is Kyle Reese on the box art? Why not Sylvester Stallone? Yeah, North American box art in those days was often screwy. Look at Mega Man, the first several games. The box art for those games here in the United States. Granted, in those days, I never seen a lot of the box art because I used to, most of the time, save a few exceptions here and there, Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior. I rented my games and played them that way. Most of my money, like I've said in many videos over and over again, back in the late 80s, early 90s, most of my extra spending money was going for hard rock albums, Rat, Motley Crue, Dokken. Well, not so much Dokken by the early 90s, but Metal Edge magazine, concert tickets, concert tour t-shirts. Yeah, most of my extra spending money was going to the hard rock era that was still alive and well in the early 90s. By the time that was done, who had money left to buy games? Most often than not me. I rent my games. At least the video stores we had, you very seldomly saw the box art. They just had the cartridge itself on display. Granted, they had it covered so it wouldn't get dusty and dirty, but still. Most of them, save a few of them that actually displayed the box art. But even then, it was probably in a lock case or something. Uh-oh. Items. There. Okay. Ooh, hiccups. Cowardly? What do you mean? We're here to kick your butt, not... never mind. I had no idea your boss was away or that you weren't the boss. How did that cheesy old line go? I am here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. What? You know, Roddy Piper, former WWF, now known as WWE wrestler. The movie They Live, 1988. Yeah, I didn't know your boss was away. For all I care, I thought you were the boss here, and I'm here to kick your butt. Now you think I'm a coward? Ha, I think not. I'll show you who's a coward, Buster. Of course, again, if Maribel had the boom spell, that would be nice. Or the bang spell, rather. Don't get boomed for quite some time yet. But oh well. We'll do without it. Gonna have to, obviously. Oh, I hate when they do that. Now who's the coward here, Buster? What a hypocrite. He calls us a coward, yet he's the one hiding. Whoa. Holy crap, handling. 170. Damn, how in the hell did Handling ever get injured in the first place? 175 damage in one hit. Of course, that was an excellent hit, so yeah. One of those once in a blue moon kind of thing. Or critical as... Okay, Kiefer gets a level up. Seed of Resilience. Think so? Who is this boss you speak of? Certainly not Bruce Springsteen. I mean, what? The boss. You know, like Elvis Presley, the king. Or John Wayne, the duke. Bruce Springsteen, the boss. Born in the USA? No. Her? Wait a minute. What? But granted, she kind of ditched us and let us fend for ourselves on our way down into the Rainbow Rock Cave to get the... But aside from that, I mean... Okay. So she's the... What? Finishes him off. Find out what? That you're the big boss of this game, you know. What? Spoiler alert for somebody that's maybe never played a Metal Gear game, but yeah, big boss in Metal Gear. The original for you in release order. Supposed to be like the leader. Your boss. Turns out to be the leader of the enemies too. Although the gender is different here. Kind of the same scenario. I mean, she's not our leader, but someone we kind of minimally trusted. Turns out she is the... Okay, what? Ah! What is this? The Dragon Lord shows his true form? Okay. What? Oh yeah, that cutscene. Okay, that cutscene we saw earlier. Malloy. Who's he? Well, of course, this is another case of we would have had a little bit more of the backstory in this game had I talked to more of the villagers. I think somebody said something about the town that we were at. Town next to this, the town in this area was called Ballymolloy, named after this guy, Maeve's brother, as we're now hearing. Yeah. Women folk? Women folk? Is your name Jethro Bodine? I mean, Jed Clampett by any chance? You Beverly Hillbilly, you women folk? I'm sorry, but that just... Putting it that way just reminds me of that old 60s sitcom, The Beverly Hillbillies. And there I go again, showing how old I am by making references to shows like that one. Yeah. Alright. A second boss battle. Okay. Fine. Oh, gonna hide behind your shield, huh? Really, Maeve? Stand your ground and fight. Come on, you're supposed to be the, some badass. Really? Take that, you chicken. Hiding behind your shield. Sheesh. Take that. Now hide behind your shield, you coward. Oh, good God, it's this part. What are you doing? No, not at all. Be my guest. Nope, not at all. Go ahead. Be my guest. Finish it off. Okay. I hate this part. She's some monster in disguise. Why are we showing her pity? She tried to kill us. She's a skeletal creature in disguise. Finish it off. Ooh, bright light. Especially for the people in this area who aren't accustomed to bright sunlight. Ah, bright light, bright light. Okay, that's a terrible Howie Mandel as Gizmo impersonation, but yeah. Bright light, bright light. Yeah, I can't do the high voices like he does. Or did back then in 1984 in the first Gremlins movie. You know. Bye, Billy. Anyways, old movie references aside, we're done here. Go back to town. Ooh, bright daylight. And no enemies. Okay. Not that the enemies here were all that tough, but yeah. Oh, they're back. So yeah, apparently Maeve, or whoever the frick, the skeletal creature that is Maeve, or somebody, took all the women from this village. My question is where? I've been all over this island. I didn't see them. Where were they hiding? Or where was Maeve hiding them? The Twilight Zone? Oh well, again, video game logic. The more you try to figure it out, the more you end up with a migraine headache and more questions than you had before you started, like I keep saying. So it's better off to just go with it. It's a video game. It's not going to make logical sense. Deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, then don't play video games. I hate to say it that way, but yes. If you're expecting video game logic to actually make physical sense, you're going to be upset every time. Trust me on this. As somebody who's been playing video games since 1988, well, regularly since 1988, periodically since 1982, Pac-Man in the arcade. Of course, that didn't have a story. That was just a yellow golf ball, yellow tennis ball chewing up pellets. You're welcome. Are we going to tell this kid he still has some kind of thing going on for Maeve? I mean, not necessarily romantic. Again, given his age, I don't think he's ready for those kind of thoughts and emotions yet, but yeah. Are we going to tell him? Are we just going to... No, I guess not. Okay. Problem. We're just going to let him imagine that Maeve is still some kind of good character. What? Somebody needs to tell this kid the truth. That Maeve was an a-hole. That she is the reason this town almost bit the bullet, so to speak. Someone needs to set that poor little kid straight. I mean, about the only thing, if I was actually trying to do so, about the only thing I could think of to even partially justify this, you know, Maeve was telling about how after her brother was betrayed and murdered and blah, 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 she started to hate everybody. Some video game form of demonic possession or something like that. Her mind was no longer her own. Something along those lines. Anyways, yeah, we're done here. So now, in a plot twist that's going to be repeated multiple times, and multiple times some more, and still multiple times over through the rest of this, or at least the first half to 3/4 of this game. We finish in a certain location, and once you've done stuff, well, where is the... If I can find it. You go back. Of course, I tried this in a previous video, and it was a point of no return. But now, since I've done what the game wanted me to do here, so to speak, yeah, that was not here the last time I came back here just to check for curiosity purposes. Again, with emphasis, now that I've done what the game story wanted me to do here, I now go back home. Oh, it's Flyboy. Yeah, we all three had the same dream. To the letter. Not one detail different. Uh-huh, Kiefer. Whatever, dude. Yeah, exactly. For once, dread the thought, for once I actually agree with Maribel. What's the world coming to? I actually agree with Maribel. Ah, good. Yeah. Nope, wasn't listening. Why would I listen to you? Earthquake. Okay, what's going on? Huh? Leviathan coming out of the water like Final Fantasy IV? No. Oh, it's a new island. That somehow looks familiar. Yeah. So this is about the point where if you've never played the game before or never seen any of the trailers and previews and whatnot, where the gist of this game is starting to slowly become clear. You go here, put fragments into one of those pillars, get sent back, do whatever the game story details, then you come back here, and that island you were just on now materializes in the present time. Yeah. That's going to be the gist of the game for the first half to 3/4 of it. Island after island, scenario after scenario. A little over melt. They could have taken a few of those island chapter scenarios out and the game would have been every bit as good, if not better, for it. But, yes. Oh yeah, we're gonna need them. There's what? 5 yellow pillars or something like that, 4 red. And each one of those pillars you need like 3 or 4 or 5 fragments for. So yeah, that's a lot of fragments you're going to be collecting over the course of the game. Yeah. One of the major additions to this version of the game that the original PS1 version did not have. Yeah. Since you're going to need those fragments, and they can be very easy to miss, resulting in a lot of backtracking and confusion as to which ones you missed. I cannot imagine playing this game for the first time and not having that. Good God, you probably have spent most of your time backtracking trying to find the fragments you missed. More than anything else on that first playthrough. So yeah, out of all of the so-called quote-unquote quality of life upgrades between the PS1 original to this remake, I'd have to say this one is the most helpful, especially for a first playthrough. Showing the location of all of those on the map, and if there is no map for that area, well, as soon as we're done with this scene, yeah, notice the touch screen there now has that icon on the bottom left corner of it, which will flash whenever you're near a fragment. So as long as you're paying attention to that, you won't miss any nearby fragments. Again, I cannot imagine playing this game the first time without having that. Good God, you must have spent most of your time backtracking trying to find the fragments you missed because you had no idea they were even there. And then you get, yeah. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.